A follow-up on beef. Apparently Wendy's has a shortage.
I'll have to call Nelson Peltz. I'm going to call Nelson Peltz. His expertise really no longer applies. But I think Mike, you'll announce your...
This week, first of next week.
You're going to have to push them.
And they're ramping up capacity, so.
Okay?
Mr. President, you said earlier that when you were talking about winding down the task force, you've heard from a lot of respected people who wanted you to keep it
I
open.
respect it.
Who were some of those?
They're going to be okay. They'll be all right. Basically, you're saying in a week and a half, you think everything's going to be good? Or sooner? Would you make sure, please? Committees, they want to be on the financial committee or the sports committee. I've heard, that's all I do. I get calls from people, the biggest people, they all want to be on. Enemies of mine, people that don't like me, want to be on the committees. I said, that's strange, but they all want to do and they all want to help. So we're going to be announcing some very good names. Now, in this case, we want professional names that can help us, not just names where we put it on for the status of the task force. We don't need status, we need results.
Mr. President, last week when you were in the East Room, I asked you about intelligence regarding the source of the virus. You suggested that you had seen some intelligence that gave you some confidence that it somehow emanated from the Institute of Virology. The Secretary of State on Sunday said the same thing. Where are you now on that issue?
No different. No different.
Have you seen anything else? That
No, and I don't think there'll be a big difference. Be a big difference. I think we know, and I think you probably know too. Okay, any other questions?
Just one follow-up on China, sir. Related to intelligence, but more specifically to how you will respond to China. You've talked about tariffs. Would you like to put tariffs on China as a punishment, or would it be more related to China not actually...
I don't want to talk about that now.
Okay.
We're in the midst of some very big things, so I just don't want to talk about that now.
Are you satisfied with China in terms of how it's fulfilling the trade deal, the phase one?
I will be able to report on that the end of next week. They're buying a lot of farm product, but are they buying to the level that they were supposed to? They were going to buy $50 billion worth. The most they ever did was 15 or 16, and now they're going to 50. Anywhere between 40 and 50 in terms of farm, but 250 billion overall. That never happened. No president has ever even talked about anything like that. It's about time. But I'll be able to report in about a week or two as to not only with the farmers, but with many other industries also. Okay?
Well, some updated ag numbers on this Friday.
Okay, good. I'd like to have that. I'll report them as they come in. But we're watching closely, and they understand. They have a deal. And hopefully they're going to keep the deal. We'll see. They may not. We're going to find out. We'll know soon. As to not only with the farmers, but with their development and already in storage. As you know, we're stockpiling. We have over 10,000. We've sent them to states. The states are all, you have plenty of ventilators, right? Did you ever think that was possible?
No.
They never wrote a story about it, Kim.
No.
And that's a tough one.
We're at 80 to 85%.
That's not like a swab. Well, we have thousands of ventilators right now under development. And Nigeria just called. We're giving them 250 ventilators. We have many countries, I'd say 12, 14 countries are called. We're sending quite a few to France. We're sending quite a few to Spain and Italy. And we have other countries. We have 4 African countries located in Africa, who are really in bad shape, frankly, very bad shape. And we're sending them quite a few. So we're in a position where we can now help other people. Because basically, what are you talking about? You're talking about people dying. It's not a question of countries. You're talking about a lot of people are dying. And we make a great ventilator, as you people found out. Your people actually told me. The ventilator, there are good ventilators and not so good. We go top of the line. We're making all top of the line. So we're sending them to a lot of countries as they need them, and they call.
And are those donations, will they have to be?
In a certain way, I like them to be donations. I really do. I think it's goodwill. It's hard to say you have to pay us in order to save people from dying. And I'm the first one to say you got to pay, but you know, this is something that's a little bit different. I think it's something they really appreciate more than normally, like, you know, you're doing. So we're looking on that, and in a certain way, I like them to be donations. The kind of calls we've been getting, they're like desperation calls, because you can't make them. It takes you months and months to get them set. We did it in weeks. The people did an incredible job. I was very proud of them. There's not been something like this since World War II, you know, especially that, because trade for some linen or whatever it is. A ventilator will save lives. And they don't really, some of these countries have none. Larry Kudlow knows. I mean, you know the kind of calls we've been getting. Good question, but we have many countries calling, and we're helping as many as we can.
Sir, when you said a little while ago here that this was a worse attack than Pearl Harbor and 9/11, are you suggesting that COVID-19 is an actual act of war?
I view it as I view the invisible enemy as a war. I don't like how it got here, because it could have been stopped. But no, I view the invisible enemy like a war. Hey, it's killed more people than Pearl Harbor, and it's killed more people than the World Trade Center. World Trade Center was close to 3,000. Well, we're going to beat that by many times, unfortunately. So, yeah, we view it as a war. This is a mobilization against a war. It's, in many ways, it's a tougher enemy. You know, we do very well against the visible enemies. It's the invisible enemy. This is an invisible enemy. So, but we're doing a good job.
What's your assessment, Mr.
1,000.
Jared Kushner put in place to ramp up PPE and did it, as has been charged in a couple of news articles, favor people with political connections to you?
So I just heard that. I can only say this. These were young, brilliant people that were brought in because they have great expertise of this. People that love the country, people that volunteer. Jared Kushner put in place to ramp up PPE. And I think they helped us a lot on ventilators. I wasn't involved in that, but I think they helped us a lot. You know, to them, they can look at a ventilator and it's a very simple machine. Somebody else looks at it, they have no clue. I think they did an incredible job. Now, I don't know anything about, I don't think we're paid anything. In fact, some of them were very rich people were able to sell their company. I mean, some people would say nerds, okay? This is what they do. And I think they helped things pricing, but we were able to get gowns and gloves and masks and all these things at a very early point. Now we're making a lot of it. You saw it yesterday where we're making masks at Honeywell. But I will say, Deborah, you saw it too. I mean, the level of ramp up that we did so quickly. So I would say they did. I wasn't involved in the details, but I can tell you it started flowing. That was with the planes pouring in from all over the place.
And did the program in any way favor suppliers who had a political connection?
Well, I don't even know that because I have no idea who bought. I wasn't involved in that. We have a lot of support in our campaign. A lot of people are supporting our campaign. They want to see us win very badly. So I don't know, do they have companies? Do they not have companies? I can tell you I don't believe these kids would have any knowledge of any of these companies. And, you know, like I had seen this Dr. Bright. I never met Dr. Bright. I don't know who he is. I didn't hear good things about him. I did not hear good things about him at all. And to me, he seems like a disgruntled employee that's trying to help the Democrats win an election by getting out. I mean, he's got a pre-taped sermon about, you know, what he thinks. And I can tell you, they didn't think he did a very particularly good job. And I don't know who he is. I didn't hear good things about him. I did not hear good things. a certain administration. I mean, he certainly seemed to have a very well-packaged deal, and he's got the same lawyers that some other well-known people had, and he comes up with the whistleblower. I always thought whistleblower was sort of a secret thing. Well, everyone knows who he is, so why is it a whistleblower?
It's just not his protection, it doesn't care.
Well, protection from what? Protection from what? But everybody knows who he is because he was very public about it. And if you look at his lawyers are the same lawyers that other people have used. And so I don't know much about it, but to me, he seems like a disgruntled employee.
Mr. President, about the figures right now, are you...
Which figures?
Figures, death toll figures in the United States,
Yeah.
over 70,000. Do you believe those figures?
Well, I think it is what it is. From you're saying it's 70,000, it's approximately now 70,000. So do I believe him? Yeah.
You don't have
I
reason
don't
to
believe
cast
him for
doubt.
China,
Yeah.
and I don't believe him from other countries where I see, a very tiny number of people died, but you're watching the news and you see what's going on. But our numbers are, essentially certified numbers. They're individual hospitals. They're putting out the numbers. I don't imagine there'd be a very big variation. No, it's a big number, but it's also believe them from other countries where I see, a very tiny number, 120,000. That's if we did the big shut-ins and if we went to the total shutdown. And now it's time to open up our country. Got to open up our country. Okay. Thank you very much, everybody. Thank you, John.
Thank you.
We're contacted by physicians who alerted us to the importance of being able to use this device potentially to measure coughing and respiratory activity.